What's up, guys? I'm Bennett here. In today's video, we're gonna do 5 butters you can do anywhere and in any condition. Best part is we're gonna be doing some feedback and some live coaching with my dudes here at summer camp. Subscribe and vibe. Let's go. I can do my dance like a touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Drop it in, 3, 2, 1. A low squat. That's something that I like to do a lot, and it just evaluate how my hips, my ankles, my knees, my shoulders, how everything's feeling. And then if I'm like super rigid and stiff or something's like not feeling right, then I can take the time in the lodge to do what I need to do. So when it comes to butters, so real quick, let's define what a butter is. A butter is essentially a tail or nose press while adding some kind of rotation variation. The coolest thing about butters is we could do almost an unlimited amount of different variations and pullbacks and twisties and whatever. But in this video, we're gonna be building upon one simple butter and making it a lot more challenging, a lot more complicated, so that we end up doing something really fun and really cool. So let's dive right in. As we do this clinic, I'm gonna be breaking down exactly what are the body parts and the steps for each trick. So we're gonna dive into a nice little tail butter right now. So the very first butter that we're gonna do is we're simply going to do a heel side turn, and we're gonna be trying to lift up our nose of our board, and we're gonna get our board to go sideways and try to do a press between the 180. So I'm gonna start with my board pointed straight down the fall line, turn sideways, try to get into a little bit of a press, and then try to keep going and finish switch. Now the goal is to get that board to get off the ground so it looks super steezy, and if it's done right, you can put a clip on Instagram, right? So that's what we're trying to go for. Now, asking the group, how the heck do I do a press? How do I do a butter? Let's try it, heels, toes, either way. We're gonna shift your hips, okay? Does that get the board up? A little bit, right? But we wanna exaggerate this because we're online and we don't want to, people make fun of us. So how do we make it more awesome? Any other ideas?
Pull out that front knee.
Retract that front knee. Let's go ahead and try that. Ooh, definitely an option. Another big thing is if I can sink down lower and then exaggerate my hip going beyond that back binding, it's gonna make things a lot easier. Because what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna be in a very tall position, lean back like this, and have no control. And then I might fall over there. I might just eventually fall over. I will have way more control if I can get my belly button as close to the binding as possible and sink back. Now look at this, is more control, and I have more options versus just being tall and falling over. Does that make sense? So, what's up?
How should the shoulders be?
Ooh, I love that. That is a great question. Eden asked, where should the shoulders be? What do you think? Where should they go?
I feel like in line with the snowboard, parallel with the snowboard.
Okay, an option. What do you guys think? Agree or disagree? So I would agree and possibly disagree. The reason why I agree is if I wind up and throw, I can start the rotational momentum through a use of the shoulder. And then I can keep myself nice and stacked with my core engaged, my shoulders aligned, absolutely. Now sometimes you didn't throw it hard enough. If I need to get some more rotation, I can take my lead shoulder and open it to help that momentum. So I agree, and then we may need to.
That's exclusively if you're trying to spin.
Exclusive if you're trying to spin or you haven't created enough momentum. Yep. Cool, let me give you a nice little example and then I'll have you guys do it. Cool, we'll get some shots, Matt. Cool, it's gonna look like this. Point the board down the fall line, do a heel side turn. Oh my dude. Woo! Woo! Nice little turn. Don't run into him. Don't run into him. Woo! Oh! Garrett just got really leaning back and just a little bit more of a elongated move over versus sinking down and sinking back. And then how did yours go? I watched it.
Dude, I felt it was kind of plowing on my heels a lot more, maybe a little bit not over, like back of my board, kind of maybe leaning back a little bit.
I would agree with that. I watched them all, just too many concussions. How'd yours go? Oh, you almost ran into Matt.
I almost ran into Matt. In general, I just feel like I could definitely pull up a little bit more and get more confident with it.
I agree, exaggerating that movement.
Didn't quite have the lip.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily want to just focus on staying tall, leaning back and lifting up, right? It's really important that we actually sink down and scoot back. Now look at this position. I could hold this for about 4 days if I had the strength, right? But if I start going tall and lean back, it's really hard to find that balance point because it's so high up there. One more time, that was a fantastic warm-up. A lot of you guys did a fantastic job and you really exaggerated the shenanigans out of that, which I really love. One thing is, remember, for this specific example, it's really hard to start in a tail press, then create momentum. So imagine we're going into a rail where we have to jump on it, and all of a sudden I just ride straight, and now I'm trying to create that momentum. It's actually easier if I can start that momentum on the jump, so to speak, and then my shoulders and everything, by the time I get on the rail, I'm gonna be able to do that. So think about this as like an exaggerated steezy AF board slide off of that back foot. Kind of dope, or a back blunt essentially is what it is. So instead of doing a tail press into it, let's go flat, get turned, and then imagine we're on a rail. With that said, we do have inspiration for trick number 2, which is gonna be taking this back blunt variation into a 270 out. So definitively what I'd like you guys to do is take your board down the fall line, get into a board slide where you're pressing or buttering on your back foot, and then we're gonna try to spin out so we finish the 360 and land back in our dominant direction. Now, one of the biggest things that's gonna help a lot is as I'm in the board slide, I want my lead shoulder to now be separated, allowing that rotation to keep going, and I'm essentially winding up a rubber band and letting it snap is the goal. So it's gonna look like this, and then Matt's gonna film you guys and we'll give a little feedback. Oh. Woo! Yeah, Garrett. Oof, oof. Yeah. For the people that struggled a little bit and ended up falling, a lot of it came from the timing of when you did it. So the goal is to get my board to be sideways and popping off a flat base in 270 out. Yeah, we end up cheating it a little bit because we're out here in like the snow and stuff. But what ended up happening is if I cheat it too much, I nose pick. So I fall over, and I'll show you an example because I'm committed. But the other thing is then, Steven, you're doing a 450 out. Yeah, so then you're getting all the way, you're rotating till you end up riding away switch. So overachiever, let's go. I'm into it. So just be managing that. And then the last part, so you kind of toe picked, or kind of nose picked and fell over. And then for you both, if you can land back on a toe side edge, lock that toe side edge in for about 3 feet or a board length or 2 board lengths, then you're gonna be able to prevent that heel side turns washout type thing. So if we can actually get on the toes, it will allow us to control our upper body and that momentum that's created. And so then we'll try this one more time. We're gonna do this again. I'm gonna show you what you're doing versus what you should be doing, and then we'll land on our toes. So I'm gonna do it 2 examples, one not so sick and then one hopefully sicker, if I'm alive. You ready for me to die? Okay. I'm gonna go a little slow to prove a point. All right, so tail. Versus try to get the 270 out sooner. I want to be here to here. Oh, I just don't like stopping here. .270 on, I'm going counterclockwise. My shoulders are here, and then I spin out like this. But I'm not counter-rotated in the opposite sense where I'm here and winding up and throwing. No. I'm anticipatory movement, meaning my lead shoulder's anticipating the direction I want to go. The next thing that we're gonna be doing, instead of a 270 out, what if we happen to stay in a press and we just keep going? Is that doable? So instead of extending off the ground and catching the nose of our board or the tail of our board, we're gonna see if we can do a 720 in a tail press. So we're gonna be trying to spin, spin, spin. So to the point that we were just talking about is I can wind up, I can throw, but I gotta harness that momentum by letting that lead shoulder rotate in the direction of travel, and I'm gonna try to feel my lead shoulder pinching as if I'm leading the way so much. Does that make sense? I like it. The goal, no matter if we're on our toe edge or our heel edge, we always gotta have our weight uphill. Now if we mistime that, we're leaning downhill, we already know what happens, right? Not fun. So let's go and do a tail butter, and butter, and butter, and butter. Ooh. Ooh. I thought you wanted to see me crash again. Woo! Really focus looking at your feet. Try to keep your eyes up, just like Garrett's doing. Eyes up and looking where you're going more than being here. Eyes up, looking. Garrett, keep looking, keep looking. Try to look where you're going. Yeah, try it again, one more time, but keep looking. Yes, yes. Yup, yup. Oh, save it! Throws the heel turn and then lets it go. Hey! Days. Let's go! Redemption!
Eyes up.
Close your eyes. My way to see if people are listening. Heel side turn. There it is. Yup, yup, yup. Ew! Let's go! I'm not so sick at him. One thing that you are doing is you're like really tall trying to lean back versus where Josh was, he's almost like way back. Let's see it again. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Let's go. Hey, let's try it. Yup, yup, yup. Hey. Yup, 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 yup. Oh. Woo! But we can make it less challenging and more challenging. So if you feel like that was really challenging and we need to go take a step back, then we could just do our little tail press butter, the first one we did, but do it with a tail grab. What's cool about the tail grab is I can't grab my tail if I'm here, and I also can't grab my tail if I'm here, but I can grab my tail if I'm here, right? If I get that hip down and sink down, it could help out a lot. And if you're feeling comfortable on just a flat spin, let's add a grab. So either way, we can do like the 720 with a grab or just a 180 with a grab. Sound good? No pressure, Josh. Let's see the crail, my dude. Oh! Let's go. He's never done that before. You like to be really tall? Just, yeah, get that hip, like that outside hip. I think so too. Let's try it. It will force you to be in a better body position. Chest up, lean over versus, yeah. When you're ready, let's try it. Let's go. Big dog. Woo! As I'm facing down the hills, I like to think about lifting up my toes so that I'm now making sure I don't catch an edge. And then as I transition, I'm pressing my shins over my toes so I lift up just a little bit. And it's subtle. So either I'm lifting up, pushing down, lifting up, pushing down. And that's the timing. Ed in there struggling with a little bit is you're just pushing down at the wrong time, so then you catch that edge. I feel like the press is like, could be there if you weren't gonna like about to fall. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So then it's also keeping that belly button always leaning uphill. If I'm on my heels, I'm leaning uphill. A turn, I'm still leaning uphill, no matter what. So let's go ahead and try that again with a little bit more awareness of leaning uphill and using that tactic of toes and down. And I feel like that's gonna help a lot, and you're still on the team. At least for now. At least for now.
Always.
Okay. Right now, transition. Yep. Maybe a little more speed. Let's try it again. I want to see you get this. No pressure. We're not watching. Keep it. Ah! So right here, I'm like retracting this knee, trying to keep this knee from actually like catching. So here, keeping that weight, leaning, keeping that weight. But it helps if you keep this up, so it allows you to be balanced on that edge. Oh! All right, Steven. Get it, find it. Ah! Josh! He's like naturally good at these, so I want to like challenge him. Hey! All right, close your eyes now. Yo! Let's go, big dog. Have you ever done crail or double nose? Good. I'm gonna challenge you before we run out of space to now do that same thing, but you're gonna be on your tail instead of your nose. Yeah, let's go seatbelt single hand. You guys down to try a new grab?
Yeah, I'll try crail.
Okay, crail. So we can do it two different ways. Crail or seatbelt. The biggest thing is it is gonna feel different for how we do it on snow like this versus how it is in the air off of a jump. But let's see if we can point either a board across the fall line or down, and you're just gonna shift your weight. And where are we trying to grab? The tip? We're definitely not trying to grab the side, right? We wanna grab the tip. And then we can also do seatbelt. So let's go ahead and try that. Biggest thing is just being able to keep your body shifted over and trying to fine tune that balance point. So we can go seatbelt. We can go crail. Hey, oh. And you can do it straight or in a butter. It's up to you. A butter is where you tail press and turn, or just go like straight. Ooh, you good? Oh! Let's go! I guess that's all you needed.
I mean, I've done crail before. I think it's because it forces me to cross.
Ah.
It doesn't force me to cross. I have such a hard time like getting it around.
And maybe I said it. We could just go straight down the fall line and just do the grab. But you guys are gnarly, so you wanted to do it with a spin. I'm totally down. That was awesome. Yep.
That's gonna take some work.
Good. I'm here to challenge you.
Feel like
Muscle cramp. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Whoa. Let's try it again. I want to see that. Oh, okay. Hold on, hold on. I got an idea. Soon as you finish the 360, let go and front one out.
As soon as I finish 360, like go front.
Try it. Try it. Try it. Let's do it. Oh! That's so sick. If you complete the 360, then it won't edge catch. You came up a little short, so you finished sideways, jumped, and then came out to an edge. You could do that 100%.
Yeah, I didn't want to cheat it.
Yeah.
I was going to scrub it, so I tried to go hard way, kind of.
Yeah, that's sick. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, a little steezy. Yeah. Use some yoga. Woo, Garrett, let's go. Yeah. No. I want you to be learning the same stuff over and over. Then you're like, dude, bro.
That's so awkward because you're like reaching the opposite way of the spin, huh?
You kill your momentum.
Yeah. Like how are you supposed to do that? You kind of got it. Unless it takes some work.
That and start with more momentum, or